Isn't it fascinating how stories work? How a tale of heartbreak from one side of the planet can sound strangely similar to a story of fear from the other. Today, we're going to connect two legends that seem worlds apart, a ghost from Thailand and a monster from the United States, to uncover the deeply human story that, believe it or not, they both share. Let's get into how love, loss, and memory can create legends that truly never die. But first, I have a quick question for you. Picture it. You're standing at the edge of a path, and it leads through a place that has a reputation. It's dark. What's your gut reaction? Do you push forward, or do you turn right back around? Go ahead and vote in the poll. That feeling, right there in that moment of hesitation, that's where so many of these legends begin. So, on one side of the globe, in Thailand, you have the Shrine of Mae Nak. It's this vibrant place filled with dresses, toys, all sorts of offerings, a tribute to a spirit born from a powerful, undying love. Then you jump clear across the world to West Virginia in the US, and you're met with this chilling, metallic statue of the Mothman, a creature seen as an omen of absolute disaster. One is a ghost of personal heartbreak, the other a symbol of a whole community's tragedy. I mean, they couldn't be more different, right? A heartbroken spirit and a terrifying winged monster. But what if they're not? What if, when you strip away the ghostly horror and the creature feature, Mothman y Mae Nak and the Mothman are actually telling the exact same human story? A story about how we deal with love, how we process loss, and how we build entire legends from memory. To really get that, we have to look past the supernatural stuff for a minute and find the real human tragedies that kicked these stories off. Because pretty much every great legend, whether it's a ghost or a monster, starts with some kind of profound heartbreak. The story of Mae Nak doesn't begin with a scare. It begins with love. She and her husband's Mak were, by all accounts, completely devoted to each other. But he was called away to war, and while he was gone, the absolute unthinkable happened. Mae Nak and their child both died during childbirth. It's this devastating, deeply personal loss, a grief so immense that, in the story, it literally wouldn't let her spirit rest. Now, the Mothman story, it unfolds totally differently. It starts with a series of really unsettling sightings. For about 13 months, over 100 different people reported seeing this terrifying, man-sized creature with huge wings and these glowing red eyes. It was this year-long period of unease and fear, but nobody had any idea what it was all building towards. And then, the strange sightings suddenly made a horrible kind of sense. On December 15th, 1967, right during rush hour, the Silver Bridge, which was the main artery connecting West Virginia and Ohio, just collapsed into the icy river. 46 people died. This wasn't a private family tragedy. This was a public catastrophe that scarred the entire region for generations to come. So you have two powerful kinds of loss. One is deeply personal, and the other is felt by a whole community. And this is the pivot point. This is where that very real, very human grief gets transformed into something else entirely, something supernatural. So when Mak finally gets home from the war, he finds Mae Nak and their baby waiting for him. He has no idea they're ghosts. The happy illusion is shattered in this one simple, terrifying moment. She drops a lime, and to pick it up, she stretches her arm to an impossible length. Mak, seeing this, realizes the horrible truth and flees. And her reaction isn't just to be a ghost. It's the rage of a broken heart, lashing out at the world that she feels stole her husband from her. Now, this is what's so fascinating when you put them side by side. Mae Nak is an active agent in her story. Her grief has a reason, it has a target. Her haunting is a direct result of her personal tragedy. The Mothman, on the other hand, is a passive omen. It doesn't cause the bridge to collapse, it's just seen before it happens. The community, in their grief, projects meaning onto this creature after the fact, turning a string of weird sightings into a dark prophecy. And what people claim to have seen was genuinely terrifying. The descriptions were all so consistent. A huge, winged figure built like a man. But the detail that got everyone, the one that was repeated over and over, was its hypnotic, glowing red eyes. It was something that just defied any logical explanation. Now, of course, there are skeptical explanations. The most common theory points to people misidentifying a sandhill crane. And these are massive birds, almost as tall as a person with a big wingspan and reddish coloring around their eyes. When you see the original witness sketch right next to a picture of the crane, you can kind of see how a scared person in the dark might connect those dots. But for the people of Point Pleasant, it was, and it always will be, the Mothman. Okay, so we have a heartbroken ghost and a harbinger of doom. Why are we still talking about them so many decades later? Let's dig into how these tragedies managed to evolve into these massive cultural landmarks. Mae Nak's legend did something incredible over time. The scary parts, the terror of her haunting, started to take a back seat to the reason for it, her unbreakable, undying love for her husband. So she's not just a terrifying ghost anymore. She became a symbol of eternal devotion. And that powerful, universal emotion is exactly why her story keeps getting told. And if you need any proof of just how powerful that story still is, get this. In 2013, a movie called Mac, which retold her legend as a horror comedy, became a full-blown cultural phenomenon. It made over 1 billion baht at the box office, making it one of the highest-grossing films in Thai history. That just goes to show you the core themes of her story, love and loss, they are absolutely timeless. The Mothman story sticks around for a different, but just as human reason. It gave the community a way to process a senseless tragedy. I mean, the bridge collapse was this random, horrific technical failure. The Mothman story gives it a narrative, a warning, a piece of supernatural lore that helps a community grapple with that collective trauma. And over the years, it's become a huge part of the town's identity. And today, the town doesn't shy away from its monster. It celebrates it. The annual Mothman Festival brings in around 12,000 people every single year from all over the world. The very creature that once represented fear and disaster is now a source of tourism, local pride, and a really unique heritage. And this makes me wonder, what are the stories that get told where you live? So many local legends are rooted in a real event or a really deep human emotion. We would absolutely love to hear the legend from your hometown. Go ahead and share it in the comments, because you'd be surprised how often these stories have relatives in completely different countries. And that right there is the final, most important point. When you strip away the cultural details, you find something that connects all of us. It doesn't matter if we're in a village in Thailand or a river town in West Virginia, we're all essentially sitting around the same global campfire, telling stories to make sense of the world. Because that's what folklore really is, isn't it? It's not just about getting a good scare. It's a tool. It's the language we've created over centuries to deal with the things we can't control, our biggest fears, our most painful losses, and our most powerful, enduring loves. Mae Nak and the Mothman are just two different dialects of that same universal human language. If you enjoyed digging into the real human stories behind these legends, and you like folklore that has some history and emotion to it instead of just cheap jump scares, do us a favor and save this explainer. It really helps us know that you're enjoying these deeper dives. And that leaves us with one last question for you. Every single country on Earth is full of these incredible stories. So where should we go next? Let us know in the comments which country's folklore you'd like to see us unpack. Thanks for joining us.